Hello, I'm Dan Alexander. Thanks for joining me for another episode of my webcast series. I appreciate it. Hope you're staying safe out there. It's a crazy, crazy world. I'd like to talk to you this evening about gain structure. Now, I don't have a clue about gain structure in digital recordings, so I can't speak to that. So, what I'm talking about here is the analog domain. And gain structure has to do with two factors. On the one hand, distortion. On the other hand, noise. Setting up gain structure is adjusting the input and output level of your devices in such a way as to have the lowest amount of noise and the most amount of headroom. And there goes my cat, Moosey. And and the least amount of distortion possible. Now, if distortion is something that you find desirable, and from an artistic perspective, there's times when, of course, distortion is highly applicable and desirable. But more often than not, that distortion comes from a musical instrument amplifier, foot pedal, that kind of thing, a cranked 150-watt Marshall. If you can find one of those, that'll be very scarce. So, anyways, um, uh, um, uh, some devices don't offer control of gain structure. For example, a Pultec equalizer. It's got no input level or output level. It's just what it is. And on the other hand, almost any limiter will have input level and output level. And of course, microphone preamps offer a amplifier gain control and an output level, which is the equivalent of the fader on a console. The way to set a mic preamp, and again, look, there's no rules. There's no rules. There's no laws. What sounds good is what you want. What you want is what sounds good to you. So, but with that in mind, if what you want to do is set a microphone preamp for optimal noise versus headroom and distortion, what you want to do is you want to set the output level as high as possible and the amplifier gain control as low as possible, such that you still get your desired level going to your tape or your recorder, whatever. So that's how you approach gain structure. In a console, it's the same thing. You want your amplifier gain down, giving you the most headroom, and you want your output level up, because that's where the gain structure produces the clearest, cleanest signal. I mean, generally that's what people want. It's not always so. So, in any case, gain structures are really important. If you set that preamp level really, really high, but turn your fader really, really low, It is not, it's going to give you the opposite of what most people desire. Uh, um, and there's the happy medium is what you're looking for. So, yeah. All right. So that's, it's pretty simple. It really is pretty simple, but when you properly adjust the gain structure of each device in your signal path, you are going to end up with the best sounding signal that you can get. I mean, who wants to hear a whole bunch of noise or a whole bunch of distortion? Well, I like a lot of distortion myself when I crank my guitar through my old Gibson amplifier. It sounds great. I, you know, that's what rock and roll is all about, but that's not what Andre Segovia wants to hear. And, you know, aside from a few, well, there's lots of rock and roll out there with lots of distortion, and that's all a beautiful experience. But if what you're trying to do is make an actual clear recording of somebody's performance, you don't want the distortion to come from your recording chain. Whatever they're doing, great. If it's Jimi Hendrix, great. But Eddie Kramer was trying to get as good of a signal, clean of a recording on Jimi Hendrix's already, you know, incredible sound and with lots of distortion. So, all right then, it's all a beautiful thing. And set your gain structure properly and get out there and record. Okay. Thanks a lot. Do me a favor and subscribe to this video channel. I appreciate it. Stay safe out there. It's really, wow. Don't listen to the anti-science people. It's too dangerous of a world right now. All right. Have a good one. Stay well.